Hello and welcome back. If you're new to this channel, it focuses on the ins and outs of living abroad in the beautiful country of Poland. Now, I know last week I mentioned a little bit about Kids Club, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about it and specifically more about working with children. I can definitely say that I've made a career working with children. It is hard to believe, and I just, ran that figure through my mind. I've been working with children for nearly 20 years. Like, I cannot believe that one, I'm, nearly 40 years old, and number two, I've been working with this population for that long. Now, I started working with children, specifically working with children with disabilities, and I think I started doing that when I probably was almost like a child myself. So, probably around the age of like 20, 21. So I started working with children with disabilities, specifically children with autism, and that grew into working as a behavioral therapist. And then after that, I decided I wanted to be a teacher. And so I was a substitute, and then I was working with children doing art and working with children in summer camps. And now I teach children English here in Poland. Sometimes I want to pinch myself because working with adults is amazing, but working with children is next level. And I say that because children are 101% themselves during lessons, and so they're completely genuine. I've mentioned this in an early video when I say that when you work with children, you're working with humanity in its rawest form. And like I said last video, the psychologist in me loves working with children, loves looking at human nature, and definitely loves like working with that population, especially my favorite group, or I can say where I most like being when working with children, is from about ages maybe about like 5 to 6, because children are able to use language and they're able to articulate themselves in a way that makes the environment more reciprocal and allows you really to teach them English and to see what they're actually learning. At Pascal Connects, I definitely have been working with children or some children that are our clients for nearly 4 years. There are about 3 or 4 students that I can think of right off the bat that I've been their teacher. I've been kind of overlooking the teachers that work with them for nearly 4 years. However, you really do not get to know students, and specifically, you really don't get to know children unless you work with them for an extensive time over a few days. And I found that working with children in summer camps, so sleepaway camps, what you would think specifically about camps in America or camps in other parts of the world, and also with day camps. It's during that time when you're with the children for like 6 to 8 hours a day that you really get to know their personality, and you really get to see children in their full, like natural environments and doing what they do and seeing how human beings operate. When you're in this environment, you find out a lot of things about yourself, and you find out a lot of things about human nature in general. Now, I remember this channel is about my life here in Poland, but it is also about the journey and about how I've learned so much by living in several different countries and working with people with different perspectives and different cultures. And I've found, I've worked with children in the USA. I've worked with children who had fit a specific demographic, whether that be they were of a specific ethnic group or they were part of a specific social economic status. In addition to that, I've worked with an array of children in Australia, children with disabilities, also with neurotypical children. And here in Poland, I've been able to work with different populations of children. Specifically, I could categorize this based upon age. And I found that it's not surprising, but I found that people and children are the same no matter what country I'm in. And if I just look at this with like 3 dimensions, number one, children don't care about what you look like. They could care less. That's more of something that occurs as they become more civilized or as they become more cultured or as they are taught specific behaviors as they grow. But children, at first sight, they may be scared of you if you are new or you're something novel. But for the most part, once children get to know you, they know your personality, they know how you operate, and that's how they judge you. And so, what you look like is definitely not a factor for children. Number two, I found that children just want to have fun. No matter where you go in the world, children just want to have fun. They want to be able to explore the world. And some children want a little bit more freedom, and some children need an adult or need that supervision or need someone to kind of look over to make sure that they're safe. And that kind of goes into the number three aspect, and is that children want to feel safe. They want to have fun, and they want to also feel safe and confident and know that they're supported. Now, working with children or even working with adults or even myself as a student, I know that those two ingredients are what makes learning happen. I feel that if you're having fun and if you feel safe and confident, then you're going to learn. I also have learned with children, specifically during Kids Club, that children thrive in chaos. Now, it has to be a sweet spot. It can't be too chaotic because then no one's going to learn anything. However, there has to be a little chaos, like a few ticks from being out of control, and that's where children have the most fun, I feel, and is where they thrive and they learn the most. This is my second week with Kids Club, and I found that the last group spoke a lot more English as a group. It was a smaller group, but overall the group spoke more English. With the group that I have now, some of the children speak English. There's about 12 of them. However, about half the group don't. However, just in this week, so just in this 5 days, I think we are running the program from 9 to 3 o'clock. So just in this little tiny space, the children they're communicating with me. They're communicating with me the best they know how. And not only are they communicating with me when they want something, they're also communicating with me to just share how they feel, to share, how their experience is during the camp, or to just tell me about extra things that they do at home or what they enjoy. And I can see that being in a camp where you have a teacher who primarily only speaks English during the day, that children quickly pick up on the language. Just like sponges, they quickly pick up on the language and they start to speak English. Even if you're not an English teacher, I definitely recommend that everyone, even if you have children, I still recommend that you go out and you volunteer your time or you work with some type of program where you can get to know children. We are definitely their role model. And I find that when I work with children, there are some children that kind of touch my heart, and I can see that I am making an impact on their lives. I also see the flip side, that some children, they definitely impact my life in a very positive way. I know that people are really skeptical when it comes to working with children. I know that there's this component of fear, this component that you're not going to do it right. And there's this component that children are just completely out of control. And yes, children can definitely be out of control and you're definitely going to make mistakes. However, there's so much you can learn from working with children. And like I said, it doesn't have to be an English lesson. It could be volunteering, reading a book. If you're Polish, go ahead and donate your time and read a book to children in Polish. Or it can just teaching children a skill. At the daycare that I work at, there is a woman who comes and does these different workshops with something that she's interested in, and she's able to share this with the children. And I find that it is a benefit to the children, and it's also a benefit to the whole community at large. Before I go, I just want to thank you for tuning in. I know that my upload schedule has been a little bit chaotic. However, with this upload that you'll be seeing on Friday or this Friday, the next upload is going to proceed the next Friday. So we're back to our Friday uploads. I'm super happy about it. And please stay tuned. I have some super interesting things that are coming down the pipeline, and I just can't wait to share those things with you. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you next Friday.